All right, you want to wait till everybody give it a minute?
Yeah, let's give it a
Or
minute,
do you
guys.
want to see?
All right, guys. So I think we're starting here. Here we are.
Does it say live?
Oh, it is live.
Okay.
We're live, guys.
Okay.
All right, guys. It's as you know, Sheldon and
Andy, and we're just going to take a minute to introduce ourselves. We're the inventors of MagnaMat, and if you're seeing this, that means you're one of our friends or family or backers who expressed interest in supporting us, and we're super excited to be here today. We finally launched our crowdfunding campaign for MagnaMat, and we're stoked because this is going to be cool. Before we get started, if any of you are watching and you've got comments, just go ahead and write those down in the section at the very end, and we'll get to those when we get done with this. So
sweet.
Yeah. So Sheldon, what is MagnaMat?
So MagnaMat secures a rug from sliding, twisting, and curling. It removes any of the side-to-side movements. I don't know if you've ever tripped over the side of your rug. It's super embarrassing. But yeah, his MagnaMat right here. It's super, super thin. These magnets are literally the world's strongest magnets. So these aren't like your average hobby magnets. Like these things, this has 66 pounds of pull force downward.
Per set.
Per set, sorry. So 4 of these have 66 pounds of pull force. And there's a, I don't know if you can see, but there's a locking pin right in the center. So that locking pin, if you ever see a photo of this, it actually goes down into a base plate. And that base plate locks in and keeps your rug from moving. The best part about it, though, the way that magnets work, is once they start being pulled upwards away from the base plate, it loses pull force almost instantly. So basically, we've made a system and a solution so that your carpet locks itself down, and the only movement it's allowed to go is upwards. Makes it super easy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you.
So I guess, Andy, what's crowdfunding? Let's explain that.
So yeah, so crowdfunding is essentially a way for startups like us to raise funds from a bunch of different people, right? So
it's like friends and family and
exactly. So instead of getting a huge amount of money from, say, 1 or 2 people, right, to back us, this gets 1,000 people involved at a really small amount of money, and you get all these small contributions, and it allows us to use those funds for production, marketing, anything that the business is going to need in the future.
Yeah.
So the way that Kickstarter works is if we meet our goal, we get the money that we raise. And so our goal is $2,500, and if we meet the $2,500, then we get to take that. We keep that for production. If we don't, Kickstarter gets to keep all that. So that's why it's super important, you guys, that we reach that goal of 2,500. So any of you guys out there that are willing to contribute, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and in reality, I think that number is probably a lot lower just because of take it or leave it. So we place that number much lower than what we actually want on there.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to risk the potential that it's not there.
So hey, how did the idea come about? Like how did that all transpire?
So many of you know I've been in the car business for a long time. I was working, and I was sitting in my truck. Actually, I was taking a phone call with somebody, and I was sitting there for probably a good 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm facing the dealership showroom, and it was a super windy day, and this rug, the floor mat at the very entrance of the dealership kept moving. And it kept folding over on itself, and I had seen all throughout that day that rug was moving. And but in the course of just this 10 minutes, I had seen this manager move that rug. No, I'm not even kidding you, 3 times. So it's just prior to that, Andy and I had been talking about coming up with some sort of idea, something that we could create somehow, but it would be simple and it would solve the actual issue and a solution. So I immediately started going to that place of like, hold on, how could we fix this thing?
Right.
How could this not happen again? And I immediately went to like magnet. That'd be perfect if there was like a big magnet that held that thing down, and it would be like a metal base plate. So I got off my call and I immediately
called him.
Yeah. And It's so funny because I hear this clicking noise in the background as I'm explaining this idea to him, and I hear this click, click, click.
So I had a phone mount in my hand that I was playing with because it was super busy, obviously, at work that day. And I'm playing with it, and Sheldon hears it in the background, and
And I'm as I'm explaining, like, oh, it'd be a magnet and there'd be a base plate and it'd be like the way it would work. And he's like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
right, right,
And so I pull into his work. He's like 2 minutes away, and we sit down, and he's like this, and he like shows me the mount, and I was like, pretty much exactly like that, just thinner, but just like
yeah,
that. And so that's kind of how it came out. And
yep. From there, we just worked through
I mean,
like design ideas and collaborating and came up with something that works.
yeah, I mean, it was
First go.
our first prototype was literally like a piece of sheet metal that we cut in the garage
And glued,
and
glued them
glued
on.
magnets onto. It was very like archaic.
Super crude.
Um,
Didn't work very well.
yeah, and then we've just added on and added on and added on, and I mean, I'm down to now we have like a living hinge part of it. So now this whole piece actually flexes and moves. So if your carpet if you're pulling your carpet up, it's not pulling the adhesive away from your carpet.
Yeah, that was one of the big problems is the way that the bracket attaches to the carpet as you pull it up to remove it to clean it, um, that would start to peel away, and so the living hinge eliminates that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of like
Trial and error.
trial and error, trial and error. So
Yep.
we're on probably what, prototype 10 now,
Probably,
and
and not finished yet.
yeah, we have
Really
like
close.
we're pretty much we have this last one and we're done.
Yeah.
So which is basically extending this locking mechanism, if you can see that, extending that up about twice the size, and making the magnets slightly larger, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, Andy, I guess if somebody's watching this and wants to order one, where can they get it?
So, you can just jump on our website, magnamatusa.com. You can get it there. That's going to give you a link directly to Kickstarter. And then you can click the link. We're going to have it down here below on Facebook and then also Instagram. It's going to be all over. One thing I think we forgot to mention, though, was about the adhesives. Because I know that we've had a lot of people ask, hey, will this thing damage real hardwood floors? And real hardwood floors became a concern because those are super expensive when you install them.
Yes.
Real wood, I mean, you're talking $50,000 to $100,000 in a good sized home. You put this down and it ruins it. That's going to be a huge issue. So we've been working with 3M.
Yep.
To really find an adhesive that's going to work really well and that's going to have zero risk of damaging that floor. Do you want to?
And so that's actually been the biggest part of our. We've been in product design and development for about 1.5 years now. Most of that has been with the actual adhesives. So 3M, if you don't know what that is or who that is, they are the world's leader in adhesives. They are all over the place. They're pretty much in almost every single product that has some ability of quality. Yeah, so we actually I reached out to 3M's product design team, and they kept trying to get a adhesive that would work for everything. I think I mentioned earlier all the different types of things we have to worry about. We have linoleum, we have concrete, we have tile, we have all these different substrates that these base plates are connecting to. And then on top of that, we also have carpet backings. They're all completely different. You have some carpet backings that's smooth. Some of them are
super rough, hard to
some
grab.
of them are like knitted. So we needed a very, very versatile product, and there wasn't really much out there. So, and believe it or not, I mean, we have literally hundreds of thousands of adhesives, literally. So, yeah, we've been working with them, and we are actually custom designing our own specific one for MagnaMat. This is going to be completely safe for your floors, no matter what you have. You have Brazilian hardwood that is imported,
right?
That is $150,000. Like, it's safe for that. If you have $1 per square foot linoleum, it's safe for that too. So we just needed an all-around product. We finally, I think we have it, but we just want to finish up a little more testing, make sure that it's good. But we're stoked.
Yeah,
We're excited.
yeah. No, I think that's about it. We talked a little bit about where to get it. It's really about our Kickstarter page, you guys. That's really what we're hoping that you guys can support us in. Get it there. Get
And
it there.
that's it. I don't know if we mentioned this is going to be available right around Christmas time. I want to say like just before the holidays. So if you looking for that Christmas gift, the stocking stuffers, whatever it is, or you just want to make sure your house is safe from tripping hazards,
Housewarming gift would be cool too.
yeah, they're perfect for those. So this is the best time because right now for Kickstarter, for crowdfunding, we have huge discounts on them. I mean, they're up to I think 35%.
Yeah, 35% off.
So, anyways, if you want them, that's where they're at.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we look forward to the future.
You guys are all awesome.
Okay.